Hey guys, what's up? It's Armando from Mando Reviews, and today I'm going to be reviewing Season 1 of the show, Orange is the New Black. So Orange is the New Black has a slew of characters and a few big stars. It has Laura Prepon, Jason Biggs, and the main girl Taylor Schilling, who plays Piper Chapman. So what the show is about is that Piper used to have a lesbian relationship with Laura Prepon, who at the time in the past was actually part of a drug ring. And so they had a relationship, and Piper ended up teaming up with Laura Prepon's character, and so they, lived the drug life, making money for a couple years. After that happened, Piper felt this wasn't the life for her. She wanted to get out of it. Things had happened that she really didn't expect to, and so she was trying to make a new life for herself. And here she is now, 8 years later. She has a fiance, she's starting a business with a friend, and she's really starting to get her life back together. And then the past catches up with her. She was sentenced for 15 months in a women's prison for 8 years ago when she was part of that drug ring. And so that being 8 years ago, Piper really has changed a whole new life for herself, and she's changed her personality too. She's become a little bit more preppy and a little bit more conservative, and she really only cares about herself, and she's trying to be more professional in the way that she lives her life. So having that kind of rich, preppy, too good to be true character put in a women's prison is really awesome to be able to have the start of a show, and leads a whole bunch of new opportunities to be grown. The show then revolves around Piper's interactions with the other characters and other inmates in the prison with her, and kind of how she starts to see them not as criminals anymore, but as real people. This show does a great job of humanizing every single person that you meet. When you're looking from the outside in, you're thinking, okay, well, she's in a women's prison because she killed a person, or that lady killed 2 people. But when you're looking at it from Piper's perspective, and when the show really introduces that character, you start to think to yourself instead, okay, well, you know what, that person actually has a heart, and she's actually remorseful of what she did, and I don't really want to view her as the criminal anymore. And so for a show to be able to do that and to be able to flip-flop who you don't think is a criminal, that's really awesome, and it really attaches myself to the characters and makes me want to see more of them and makes me want to discover more about their personal backstory. The character development in this show really keeps you engaged, and another thing too is that something happens in almost every episode that's extremely intense, and it makes you want to keep watching and keep watching even further episodes to really see what happens to the life of Piper Chapman while she's in this prison. It's not like some sappy cliffhanger stuff, it's real life stuff, and sometimes in the case it's life or death too, because maybe one person is angry at another person, and since they don't know any better, they threaten to kill them. Maybe one person's going through some health issues and they can't really get the care that they need because they're in a prison. They don't have contact with the outside world. And seeing that stuff on screen really makes you think, okay, yeah, maybe these criminals aren't that bad of people like they're, stereotyped to be, but they could have it a lot better. I really don't have any complaint about this show, and the one complaint that I do have, I feel that is really justified just because it's a TV show. So while she's in the prison, Piper does a lot of things. There's a lot of drama, and I felt that some of that drama really made me wonder whether or not that actually happened in real life, or whether or not this kind of over-the-top thing would happen in a real women's prison, because by looking at it and watching it on TV, it just seems like it was made and fictionalized for a TV show. But then again, as I'm reflecting on it, I have to think if so-and-so didn't happen, it really wouldn't be the same, and it wouldn't keep my attention as much as it did. So whenever I ask somebody if they see Orange is the New Black, they always either say no, or they say, oh, that's the show about lesbian sex and drugs and prison. And that's something that turns a lot of people off, is just how explicit this show is. This show is only on Netflix for a reason. It's very explicit, it's very sexual, there's a lot of drug references, there's a lot of adult themes in this show that I would highly not recommend for a younger person to watch. There's a lot of full nudity, there's a lot of drug use, there's a lot of graphic sex scenes that even at times I was uncomfortable watching. And after I finish the episode, I have to reflect though and think, okay, if that sex scene didn't happen, or if that drug scene didn't happen, it kind of wouldn't be the same episode. It adds to the character development, and it adds to your interest. And even though it's a little, disturbing to watch, it's interesting, and it really humanizes everybody, because everybody goes through that. And maybe if it's an addict, or maybe if it's just, somebody needing some sex at a time, they're in a woman's prison and they have to find some way to satisfy themselves, so it only humanizes them more and it makes them more relatable. So overall, I thought Orange is the New Black was one of the best TV shows that I've ever seen, and I really thought that it was engaging, a lot of awesome characters, and it's very memorable. Even though some of the scenes and themes in the show were kind of explicit, it wouldn't be the same without them. And for this, I give the show strong 8.75. I highly recommend watching it if you're mature enough, and I can't wait to keep watching Season 2 and the upcoming Season 3. Alright, so that was my review of Orange is the New Black Season 1. If you like what you see, like it, subscribe, and leave a comment below to let me know what you think. And if you want to see more, just follow me on Twitter at Mando Reviews. Thanks for watching.